Right, what's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well and keeping safe out there in the world at this current time. And today I'm about to shed some light on 15 things you used to be able to do in Essex but can't do anymore. Before we jump into that video, if you have enjoyed what you've seen by the end, don't forget to do what it says at the bottom of the page. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new, help support the channel. You can also follow me on the social media websites listed on the page here. And with all that out the way, let's get into today's video. Number 1. Swim in Malden Marine Lake. The small lake in Malden Promenade Park might offer a moment of peacefulness and a great view now, but it used to be brimming with people swimming a few decades back. The lake, which attracted both locals and tourists, was used as a free outdoor marine swimming lake and even had a section for children's paddle boats. It was opened in 1905 by Lady Rayleigh and at the time had even been considered the largest marine lake for swimming in the country. However, the unfortunate death of a swimmer in 2004 caused swimming in the lake to be banned indefinitely. The swimmer had dived into the lake and hit his head on a submerged post, which ultimately caused his death. In 2019, there was a petition that garnered almost 5,000 signatures for the reopening of the lake, and there is even a Facebook group with more than 1,000 members dedicated to it. Unfortunately, as of now, reminiscing is all we can do as no plans have been announced for the future of the lake. Number 2, go to the Corn Exchange. The Corn Exchange was a magnificent neo-Renaissance building that stood proudly in Tyndall Square, Chelmsford. In the late 1960s, every Saturday night music burst through its windows, beckoning residents to come inside, whether drunk or sober. During its famous Saturday Scene nights, the building hosted bands the likes of The Who and artists like David Bowie and Jimi Hendrix. Unfortunately, the gigs were not enough to keep business afloat and soon the company went into liquidation. In 1969, Corn Exchange was demolished in favour of building a new town centre for Chelmsford. Number 3. See the Bear at the Bear Pub at Noak Hill. The pub, which dates back to 1715, looks like any other pub today, but 40 years ago an extraordinary presence graced its walls, a bear. The curious tale begins in the 50s when the pub's newest owners met a zoo owner and bought a bear named Rani. The bear was exhibited at the rear end of the beer garden and kids and adults alike would visit the pub just to get a glimpse of him. Sadly, Rani passed away, but he was replaced by a new bear, Honey. Later on, when the landlords retired in 1974, Honey was given to Linton Zoo in Cambridgeshire to spend the rest of her days. After that, no other bear ever graced the pub's walls again. Today, it is bizarre to think that such a large animal could be subjected to live in a small beer garden, but for some it has made for some interesting childhood memories. Number 4. Dagenham Sunday Market. This is still considered a fresh wound, as the market, which was deemed one of the biggest markets in Britain, was opened as recently as last year. It was launched in 2002 and soon expanded to 4 times the size due to its popularity with traders and customers. It had over 600 stalls, adorned with an abundance of products ranging from clothes, footwear and fresh produce to baking goods, various ordinary and peculiar ornaments and even bikes. Its brimming stalls and enticing offers lured in thousands of visitors each week, many of which made the journey from numerous places of England. However, due to issues caused by COVID-19 and a difficulty to comply with social distancing rules, the market has now closed indefinitely. Number 5. Watch 99p films in Basildon. The Robbins Cinema in Basildon has been closed for more than 20 years, but back in the day it used to attract all kinds of filmgoers. It opened in 1971 as an ABC cinema and was famous for its classic cinema style, but a few decades later it closed down. However, Cinephiles will still reminisce about the cinemas last months when the prices for top name films have been cut down to almost as low as 99p. Today, in its place, stands a British Heart Foundation charity shop. Number 6. Visit the IND Coop and Sons Brewery in Romford. The brewery opened in the town of Romford in 1709 and filled the surrounding area with the aroma of brewing ale for hundreds of years before closing in 1997. The company was one of the first UK breweries to provide lager beer in the late 1960s, and many locals still wistfully remember walking by the factory and watching the beer bottles passing by the large arched windows. Number 7. Watch a race in the Arena Essex Raceway. The beloved racetrack in Thurrock, which hosted banger racing events and was home to the Lakeside Hammers, closed in 2018 after 41 years in business. The arena's events were an excuse for celebration for residents and race lovers, and families from all over Essex made the journey to cheer for the team and enjoy the festive atmosphere. It went out with fireworks in 2018, but is definitely still missed by the locals. Number 8. Live in a prefab on Harold Hill. These makeshift post-war homes were erected all over England around 1946 to 47 to rehouse the families that had lost their home during the Blitz or servicemen returning from war. They were fully equipped houses built together, forming a small community in open areas and bomb sites. However, many were later taken down, including those in Harold Hill. Fortunately, you can still have a look at what the houses and the families that lived in them look like through photographs in the Prefab Museum. Number 9. Visit Downtown Records in Basildon. It's a sad truth that the number of independent record stores currently open is minuscule compared to a few decades ago. And in Basildon, no store is more sorely missed than Downtown Records. The store opened in 1974 and it was frequented by many locals, both for its variety of music records and CDs, and the 20p photo booth nestled in the corner of the shop, where friend groups crammed in trying to get everyone in the photo. Number 10. Party at Duke's nightclub. The iconic venue was a refuge for residents at night for almost 40 years before closing in 2012. The club was so famous during its glory days it attracted everyone, ranging from locals to businessmen and A-list celebrities. The music was roaring, the drinks were flowing, and the night was always young for the hundreds of people that visited the venue for a night of fun and abandon. Number 11. Ski at Harlow Ski and Snowboard Centre. The centre was a famous attraction for Harlow in the 80s. It included 3 runs, 3 lifts and 50 metres of vertical for those who were more daring. Unfortunately, it took a real hit when heavy rain caused the top of a landslide to collapse, and it was reported to have closed by 2003. Number 12. Have fun at Fantasies. The frequented chain of indoor water parks had opened a branch in Chingford in the 1990s and was a beloved escape for many families. With a number of water slides and even arcade games available, the place is the setting of some of Essex residents' fondest childhood memories. Number 13. Zeus nightclub. Another infamous nightclub in Chelmsford, Zeus was a hotspot for partygoers during the 90s and 2000s. It had many live music nights featuring big names as booked artists and as curious visitors. Memorable visitors included Mike Nolan, the boy band DVS and Caprice. Unfortunately, the club was demolished in 2007 and has since been converted into a conjunction of flats. Number 14. Watch the Southend Air Show. The Southend Festival of the Air took place every May from 1986 until 2013. It spanned for 2 days and people from every corner of the UK travelled to watch Europe's largest free air show. The action-packed festival included flying and land-based acts for attendees to enjoy at their heart's content, as well as historic, exotic and newly launched planes. It was an annual event not to be missed and the perfect excuse to break away from the usual buzz of daily life. Since 2013 there have been numerous campaigns for the return of the Southend Air Show, but as yet we have no news. As far as we know, the only way we can bring the air show back is if we join forces with the council to raise the funds. But as of now, nothing more has been mentioned on the subject. At number 15, Party at Raquel's. Raquel's in Basildon was the most frequented nightclub in Essex for a decade before closing in 1998. The club was adorned with glitter balls, colourful stairways and vast dance floors. Every night was one for the books as music poured through the walls and people from all over Essex travelled to enjoy one night at the venue that hosted popular acts. Some even came dressed as George Michael, Cher, Michael Jackson and many other A-list celebrities. In 1995, a young woman from Lapchenden took an ecstasy pill purchased inside the nightclub on her 18th birthday. She subsequently fell into a coma and sadly died. On Friday, December the 29th, 1995, the nightclub closed its doors for the final time and Raquel's was no more. A year later, the club briefly reopened as Club Eutropa and closed shortly after. Since then, it has never been touched. Okay, so that's going to do it for today's video. So just to recap, if you have enjoyed what you've heard today, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new, help support the channel. You can follow me on the social media websites listed on the page also. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves out there in the world, and bye bye for now.